Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the grimdark future of Warhammer 40k, whatever that means. I'm really bad at that one. I know nothing about the Horus Heresy or whatever. But, man, I was... So, this thing happened. You know the situation where you think like, man, this game is really something that I would like to dive into. I'm gonna do it in a couple of days, like on Sunday or something. And then throughout that time, kind of dig yourself into a rabbit hole, into a situation where you constantly think about playing that game and what kind of build you're gonna create and the possibilities you have, and you start researching and looking at guides and videos and all that. So technically that happened to me with Rogue Trader Warhammer 40k throughout this week. I decided I want to give this game a replay. I bought it a couple of when it first released in 2023 or something, right? And then I played it for a couple of hours and just didn't click with me in that moment, mostly due to rule complexity and mechanics reasons, and then I just dropped it. But in the meantime, 2 DLCs were released. People are super excited about that game, and I actually like CRPGs. I actually like turn-based classic RPGs, so there's no reason for me to not play that game. I'm not a biggest fan of sci-fi, honestly. I'm not a huge Warhammer 40k fanboy, to be honest. I painted some minis, mostly fantasy. I've played some 40k in the recent years. Played some Necromunda, but I've never really gotten into the lore that people are all excited about. So I don't get that feeling of recognition, right? When people say, oh, this is the Lex Imperialis, whatever, something, something, right? Oh, these are the sisters of something, right? I don't get that. I get that feeling when I play in a D&D Forgotten Realms world. This is what I can recognize, right? But I don't get that with Warhammer lore. Nonetheless, this is supposed to be a pretty dope game. And I actually wanted to stream it on Sunday, but I get so wound up in researching builds and diving down into that rabbit hole that I decided that I'm just going to start my stream today. And then on Sunday, we're going to play some Final Fantasy 14. So we are going to start completely new playthrough, of course, because that's how you do, right? Give me a second. And I've already had some thoughts around a potential build that I was looking into. And if you're worrying whether this stream is just gonna be character creation, 3 hours of it, you could be right, but I hope not. Honestly, I hope not. So let's see how this goes. We're just gonna take normal difficulty for now, right? Normal should be fine. There is daring, hard, and unfair, which I kind of like, but honestly, I've heard things about Owlkit games difficulty. I think normal is fine for us, especially since these are rules and mechanics and skills that I'm not really acquainted with. So I don't really want to go into min-maxing and optimizing. But so what I thought we were going to do for this custom character is the following. The first problem I met was I needed to find a portrait that was consistent with my build and looked good and felt right. This guy is pretty cool. He looks pretty neat, right? But he doesn't fit the bill, like from what I was aiming at with this build. I was looking at this guy, but honestly, he's a bit too foppish for me. I don't like that. I don't like that. He's kind of roguish. I was leaning between Crime Lord and Sanctioned Psyker, and for a Crime Lord, that would have been a pretty cool guy. Or that. The biggest problem I have is that the only male Psyker here has this absolute horrible portrait. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. This is my main problem. And I think we're going to go with Psyker. So, in case you don't know, and there's a couple of elements in character creation that are going to affect what your character can or can't do and what kind of characteristics they have, right? Which is mainly the home world they come from, their origin, which is technically the job they had before they became a rogue trader, and then the archetype is their actual class. Triumphs and Darkest Hours are like narrative elements that give you small, bony, or you call that in English, mali, based on narrative events in your life. And then characteristics are your actual attributes. So origin is not your class technically, but it's affecting how you can, or it's synergizing with the class and affecting, giving you certain abilities. And one of the origins we have is Sanctioned Psyker, which is cool because they're kind of spellcasters. And if you want to play a CRPG, you're going to play a spellcaster, right? I mean, if you're not, then... Hey, Marius. Yeah, the picture I don't like. I'm gonna solve that problem. We're gonna take because she has a badass profile picture. I actually like her. And this is the profile picture I used for my first playthrough. And I think we're just gonna go with her. Because she looks pretty badass. Just gonna make some minor adjustments to her face. Just minor. I think this is too skinny. This is too skinny. She doesn't have hair. The eyebrows are fine actually. But we're gonna give her some additional augmentations, right? Because that looks cool.
Set for the Fon Phalancius annals.
And
Unlearn. My tactics are flawless.
okay, bold is good, I think.
Time to reap the spoils of the battle. This could be an opportunity. Challenges make the spoils that much sweeter.
I'll see you destroyed.
I think we're taking the bold one. And I think we're also have to give her some tattoos. Right. So, perfect. Then, homeworld. What we're trying to do, there's a couple of options here. I like the Voidborn because they give you additional willpower and some intelligence, which is nice for a psyker, right? But we're kind of trying to rely on strength, so this is not ideal. Even though I like the Voidborn as a background, like from a role-playing perspective, we're gonna go for, and this is, I think, gonna tie in pretty cool with the implants and all that. We're gonna go for a Forge world homeworld, which is the domain of the Adeptus Mechanicus. So entire planet ceded to the demands of vast macro industries. Each is a manufacturing super complex of unimaginable capacity and power. Sounds pretty cool. We're gonna meet a guy later on who is actually Adeptus Mechanicus, but don't let you spoil. Don't let me spoil it. They have a feature that's called Forged for Purpose, and then they have some other features later on which are pretty cool, and will allow us to deal additional damage equal to our int bonus, manage heavy armor better, and stuff like that. So, and you can select between 3 of these bonuses for the homeworld origin, which is increased critical hit chance. I kind of like that. This goes on. So this is stacking off intelligence. Then we have gaining a bonus to movement based on agility. Also kind of cool, since the plan is to do a melee character. That might be kind of cool because they're probably going to have some agility. And then this is armor. I like the idea with the critical hit chance. That feels like something that might be more in place for a sniper type of character. And we're going to go for warrior. But yeah, I think we're just going to go for the crit chance, just because I want to try that out. And then for the origin, we're going to go for the Sanctioned Psyker, right? Which is technically Psykers are not allowed in the Warhammer Empire, as far as I know, right? So if you're a Psyker, they're going to hunt you down and then they're just going to execute you. But of course, they want to use Psyker's abilities, so there is a way to basically get sanctioned by the Empire's church or whatever it is, and then you're a Psyker in their ranks and you're working for them, and as long as you do that, that is okay. Also, I think they found ways to kind of shield your minds against the risks of those warp powers, because if you use warp powers, then stuff happens around you. There's a mechanic in game even that you have to take into account when using your powers, because you can tear apart the veil between the warp and reality, and then bad stuff happens. So it's kind of Cthulhu-esque a little bit. I like it a lot. So this is, of course, what we're going to go for, right? This is not directly playing into the class we want to play, but I've watched some guides, and I think we're going the right way here. And what we're going to do is we're going for a Biomancer, because they have an ability that allows us to gain strength and toughness until the end of the combat. So this is a buff that we can apply to any target, also ourselves. That's then going to give us +10 and then another +4 times the Psychic Psi rating to our strength and toughness. And since we're aiming to play a melee character, this is going to be a nice way to buff ourselves and then just whack people. There's also the Pyromancer, which is pretty cool, because he can set things on fire. But yeah, we're going to go for the Biomancer for now and see how that works out for us. You can also afterwards, right, you can select additional abilities and talents as you level up. and unlock those. So we'll just have to see what else will work for us. We're going to find it out. So then, triumphs and darkest hours. This is basically narrative elements that give us slight skill modifiers. Honestly, I think I'm going to go for lore just because I like the idea of the Psyker having some additional lore because of the experience that they have upon solving the mystery of a powerful psychically active Xeno artifact. Xenos are basically aliens. Everything that is an alien is referred to as a Xenos, which is everything that is not human, everything that is not everybody that is not from Earth. There are several Xenos races in the Warhammer universe. I don't know all of them appear in Rogue Trader, but I definitely know some of them. So we're going to take Apex of Brilliance. And then for the darkest hour, honestly, I think we're just going to reduce our awareness because I like the idea of our awareness just not being the best. Like, you know, us being a little distracted from time to time. And the background for that is my sorcery caused a warp manifestation aboard a void ship, claiming thousands of lives in the end. Sucks to be me, I guess. And now we are... So, as you can see here, this class system is 3-tiered, right? So there's one tier at level 1 where you start, and then these tie into a secondary tier, unlocking at level 16. And you can see that you can then transition from one class onto the next one. While there is some overlap, you can see the Blade Dancer, for example, can transition into an Assassin, Master Tactician, Arch Militant, and Executioner. And the Soldier can also transition into a Master Tactician and Arch Militant, right? Same as the Warrior, who can transition into an Assassin, Vanguard, which is kind of the tank, and then Arch Militant and Executioner. What we're going to try and do is we're going to go for Warrior, and then from Warrior we're going to transition into the Assassin archetype later on at level 16. At least that's the plan. So as a Warrior, we will excel at melee combat, which will tie in nicely into our Biomancer ability. We'll be mostly combating in close quarters, so the core focus will be melee, movement, dodge, armor, and parry, soaking some damage. And the starting abilities is a charge that allows us to move in a straight line into combat and attack any target without counting against our attacks turns. And then another ability is Endure, which allows us to gain deflection and temporary wounds. There's also so-called ultimate abilities, but I don't know how they unlock yet. I think you accumulate some points over time during combat, and once you've reached a certain threshold, you can then use those ultimate abilities. One is a heroic act and the other one is a desperate measure. And you can see here our main characteristics are weapon skill, strength, toughness, and agility. And some skills that we gain is carouse, athletics, coercion, demolition, and medic. The first character that we're gonna meet is also a warrior, but it's fine. It's gonna be okay. So characteristics. I think we're gonna put 10 points in our weapon skill. That's that. Perception, we're gonna leave at 30. Fellowship, we're gonna leave at 25. Fellowship basically is the charisma of this system, but with the homeworld I've selected, there is an ability talent later on that we can select that allow us to use persuasion, coercion, and commerce based on intelligence instead of fellowship. So I was thinking we can drop fellowship, we can leave it at 25 and see that we can just add some intelligence and be fine with it. So weapon skill 40, strength 40, toughness 40, agility 35, intelligence 40, willpower 35, and then fellowship, perception, and the ballistic skills are basically the skills that we're dumping. I don't know how much I should actually focus on some very specific skills, but strength we're definitely gonna need because it affects the damage. Toughness is basically gonna be a hit point. Agility is for dodging. Intelligence, okay, it's secondary, but willpower we're gonna need for our psychic abilities as well. So, I mean, I could do it this way around as well, like 40, 40, 40, 35 for now. I think that is also going to be fine. And then, oh boy, give me a second. We need to come up with a name. Oh man, there is a spell. Give me a second. Arcanum, Guardian of the Brink. Guardian of the Brink was kind of nice. Destiny Hunter, Servant of His Glory. Harbinger of War. Okay. Eye of Providence. I think I like Eye of Providence. I think I like Eye of Providence. Can I copy this just in case I get it? Righteous Absolution, Guardian of the Brink. I think I like Eye of Providence. Yeah. So we're gonna call her Eye of Providence. She's a sword class frigate. Classic void ship design. Proven in thousands of battles. Good for her. Oh, give me a second. One thing I forgot. So we can apply a color scheme to our appearance and outfit, which is kind of nice. So we've got the voice, got the augmentations, tattoos are ready to go, which is super important. Portrait is set. So here we go. We're just gonna name ourselves Root. Again. Right? So, Forge World, Sanctioned Psyker, Apex of Brilliance, Iron Arm. I think we're looking good here, right? Warrior Archetype. Right on. Okay, that was character creation in under 30 minutes, folks. That is unheard of. I mean, the Warhammer visual design is very, very distinct, right?
An excellent place for contemplation.
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciated that a lot. Give me a second.
From here.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I forgot. Thank you so much for noticing that. I always forget. This is a small blur effect that I have on the game overlay when I play Final Fantasy XIV, just to blur out the chat in case. But I think since we're looking at dialogue here, it might be nice to deactivate that.
And wouldn't
Cool.
you say?
Thanks.
An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
The Emperor of Mankind, the guide, the ruler, and the higher power to which the humanity offers their prayers for aid and deliverance. Most will be driven mad with despair if they knew the truth. Okay. Oh, this is nice. We have an encyclopedia with information. Oh, this is cool. You could do some reading here, which is not what we're going to do now. So, what are we replying? Awe-inspiring sight, an excess that can be tiring at times. This is an awe-inspiring sight.
That is the purpose of all temples to the God Emperor, to inspire awe and reverence. For it is the duty of his servants to persevere in their tireless service until they are presented with a chance to give their very life for the master of humanity.
I can hover my
Allow me
cursor
to
over
introduce
highlighted
myself.
words.
Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship rogue trader Theodora von Valencias, at your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
He bows his head and focuses his attention on me. My name is Root, and so as to avoid any misunderstanding, I am a sanctioned psyker.
I am aware of that fact. It would have been unacceptable negligence to have overlooked such a detail when compiling your profile. Fate bestowed upon you powers of witchcraft, and a duty to use them for the good of the Imperium. Yours is truly an unenviable lot.
Absolutely. Using them for the good of the Imperium. This is all we're doing here
I
right
will
now.
be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honor.
Wait, what? I am... Oh, interesting. I am a candidate and the Rogue Trader's heir. Okay. Okay, why am I aboard this vessel? Why I've been brought here is funny. You have a curious title. What are your responsibilities? Lord Captain, a strange title for the Lady Theodora.
Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis, at the time when the first rogue traders entered the God Emperor's service, and therefore, it is sacrosanct.
I love it. This is so... There's a lot of gravity in there. You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencias.
Okay.
I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
So you're saying I should not trust you, right? You say I'm one of the Rogue Trader's heirs, so there is another candidate?
There is. and you will meet him soon enough.
Mm-hmm. I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far.
Give me a second, folks. Who is the voice actor? Nobody I know. I thought that might have been somebody a bit more famous, but he isn't. All right.
The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Master Edelthred von Valancius. Okay. Rogue Trader Theodora von Valancius desires to personally meet you. Okay. Move your character. Yeah, we can change your point of view. WSAD keys. QE to rotate the camera. Okay, this is pretty straight. This is...
A new challenge for
We've
me.
done this before, right? Cool. Some objects in the game can be interacted with in a special way. They are marked with specific icons. Some icons allow you to study objects. Others will transfer the character to neighboring locations or launch small events. These icons become visible when your character is standing close enough to the interactive object. Hold tab to highlight objects. Okay. This is also not...
None shall stand
Oh,
in
this
my
is
way.
nice. Okay. Can I... Okay. Uh-huh. Show the data on the vid screen. The sacred mechanism has been interfered with without due reverence. The duration of the data processing cycle has tripled. Oh, yeah. Yeah. My wife is really, really good at remembering voices. It happens to her even in not in video games, but in like animation series and stuff like that. That she just hears a voice and knows who it is. And she's even so good that there was a series or a movie where apparently basically a cloaked character was supposed to be somebody we already knew, and it was supposed to be a reveal later on. But as soon as she spoke, my wife realized who it was and was like, oh, this is that woman's voice. It's the same person. And was like, cool, I guess you spoiled that for us now. I'm not as good in that, but I think since we've all been watching Critical Role and playing a lot of video games, I know some people and I hear them, right? I mean, Pillars of Eternity is basically just the Critical Role cast, right? So I think Matt Mercer is even voicing multiple characters in Pillars of Eternity. He's voicing Aloth and the blonde guy, the warrior. I don't remember his name right now. So yeah.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Can I talk to these people? No, I can't. No, I can't. Okay. May his will strengthen my heart, and may my humble deeds be for the benefit of the Empire. I think it's not Empire, it's Imperium. Candlelit altar with a copy of the 200th volume of the Lex Imperialis. Okay.
It's about time.
So where are we going? We're just going here with Conrad. Hey there, buddy. Am I supposed to open the door?
Von Valencia's trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
After my audience.
What's happening?
Oh no.
The servitors have gone berserk!
Annihilate them!
I have been ambushed. Yeah, it was Adair. It was Adair. That's his name. Adair and Aloth. To survive the grim darkness of the far future, you will have to face enemies of all kinds to fight for your life. Okay. Good. Okay. Let's start the battle then. I think this is just a combat tutorial. All battles in the game are turn-based and take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Select a cell within the highlighted area and double-click the left mouse button on it to move the character there. Movement points, MP, determine how far a character can move on their turn. 1 MP corresponds to 1 cell on the battlefield. Move diagonally is more costly. Every second diagonal cell uses 2 MP. At the beginning of each turn, movement points are returned to their maximum value. Note that once a character starts moving, this action can no longer be cancelled. I hate that already. Can I just shoot at him? Yeah, I can, but it's not gonna be very effective. So maybe I can move in a little bit. I mean, action points. To make attacks and use abilities in combat, a character must spend action points. Their total is displayed on the panel at the bottom of the screen. Every attack or ability has a certain AP cost associated with it. Okay, the number of squares next to the icons of attacks, actions, and other abilities indicates their AP cost. AP are restored to the maximum value. To attack, click on the single shot icon. Okay, yeah, that seems straightforward, guys. Okay, but this is the same probability. I shouldn't have moved closer. Great, love it. Thanks for coming by, Marius. Have a happy dinner. Say hi to your wife. And thank you very much for coming by. That sucked. Bye-bye. Man, this guy is doing some serious damage to these folks. Okay, honestly, I think I'm just gonna move back a bit and shoot from here because,
All too easy.
man, am I bad at shooting? Are you able to do some damage, buddy? I mean, and the problem is I can only move before taking an action, right? So there is no shoot and run. Which, man, this is gonna suck for us. But I think Conrad is not taking damage. He's just dodging. Good stuff. I just attack of opportunity. Characters with melee weapons can make an attack of opportunity if an opponent in an adjacent cell initiates movement. It can also be triggered by some abilities. Okay. So I guess if I move out now, it's gonna be bad. So I'm just gonna shoot that guy. And be done with it. Ooh. I can scarcely believe this.
Suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
Okay, buddy. That's ominous.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
All right. You can open the map using M to orient yourself. Okay. Tarantula sentry gun constructed with the blessing of the Adeptus Mechanicus using a standard template construct in the manufactorums of Kiava Gamma. The wires in the servitor's head are still smoldering. It would seem the cause of this malfunction was the short-circuiting of the motive. Oh, a Lehman Russ battle tank, restored and reclaimed by the grace of the God Emperor. The first to breach the capital walls during the pacification of Vortiscon. I don't know what that means, but I know what a Lehman Russ is. This exhibit is unfinished. Another symbol of House von Valancius's valor will be displayed here at some point in the future. Okay, that's kind of cool. There's a door we can open here. What is that? A gray-green crystal with white veins. Strange object that resembles sea coral. The stone on the pedestal is no doubt solid, but its surface shimmers and changes hue. All right. Okay. Okay. This is not where we're going, right? No, we're just going to go to the end of the corridor. And hopefully meet the rogue trader. Here, there's some... Nothing I can loot here, right? Nah. After the incident, the passage is closed to everyone until the arch-militant says otherwise. What's an arch-militant? Oh, I see you raise your hand again. I'll hand you over to the tech priests. Okay. There's some servants here. Some technomats here. Ah, this is Edelthrad and our auntie.
Simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
We couldn't have heresy, could we?
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
My first impression of Ethelthrad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and bone. Nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tic, and the jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defect has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Ethelthrad, Theodora von Valancius's features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Ethelthrad. Next to the two of them, you see two more men. One is a gray-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth, bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manners of weapons.
Our second candidate has joined us.
Ah, that's me.
Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronus expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
So my character skills reflect their knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogues automatically initiate passive skill tests. If such a test succeeds, a new information will be revealed or a hidden dialogue option will unlock. So those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case and if the population of Aeon 6 engages in Xeno worship. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Aeon is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer. Okay. I actually, honestly, I don't think I'm the kind of person who will sacrifice psychers, because that could as well be me. But yeah, let's see.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Ethelthrad. Find your tone most disagreeable. You kindly alter the manner in which you address me, or else you will live to regret the consequences. Yeah, come on. Let's be nasty to him.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
Ethelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here?
Was it not you who sent for me? I do not know just yet. I hope you will clarify that.
Clarity. A luxury that few of us can afford. There is a reason why I did not explain all the details of the question I posed to you earlier. Beyond the borders of the Imperium, Seldom is one granted an opportunity to enjoy information in abundance. This, however, is one such opportunity. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
This is basically the Warhammer, like the Warhammer equivalent of privateers, right? This is the exact same thing. A sacred relic document that affirms the preeminent rights of a rogue trader throughout the galaxy. She's a pirate, or well, a pirate with a piece of paper.
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries is mine by right.
That's a pretty sweet
I
deal.
command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
Okay. I am ready to take on this sacred purpose. One off? Does this mean there are other heirs? It's all too sudden for me. Yeah, come on.
Oh, yes. You would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader.
Well, so am I, honestly, but I guess there's only one way to find out.
Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
Did I hear that correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Are there other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate.
Okay. You're satisfied with Edelthrad, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people.
Yeah.
They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. It says in your profile that you bear the brand of sorcery.
Yep.
Albeit sanctioned sorcery that is permitted in the service of the Imperium. I am accustomed to the presence of psychers at my side, More than that, I value their unique abilities highly. Perhaps that is why I am so intrigued by Edelthrad's candidacy. A rogue trader psyker could achieve great things indeed. However, psykers are fragile creatures, and as such I would rather have a replacement standing ready in the event that something happens to Edelthrad.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Moreover, your remarkable mental abilities were noted in your profile. If you can find a way to exhibit them in the service of the von Valancius dynasty, well, so much the better.
This is interesting. This is a decision consequence. Your outstanding intellect is known beyond the bounds of your home system.
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
Navigator, translation. What are these things you speak of? An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so?
Yep.
Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is ancient. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
Okay, how old is this ship, man? Navigator, translations? What are you talking about?
Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars.
Yes, I am sorry.
Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Gellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead. Sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars.
Okay. So where are we currently headed?
The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers, and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor.
Perhaps.
I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage. But now is not the time.
Okay. What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb.
Okay.
It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aid. In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Oh no. What is that?
I won't heed your cries of mercy.
Your Emperor won't save you.
Look out.
Plus 50 ballistic skill until the end of combat. Okay. That's a pretty solid buff. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. So these folks are compensating for the fact that I just have a puny little pistol, right? Ouch! Buddy, you hit me. $86, $95. Let's go.
Already done. Opposing me
Damn.
is your biggest mistake.
I am your doom.
Death to the weak.
Heretics.
Such is the will of chaos.
My ears are ringing.
Wow, what was that?
Battles than this in my time. I took care of this one.
Stay vigilant.
You could do a better job of just killing folks. That is just... Man, this just feels unfair.
Worse.
That just feels unfair. Has received a temporary effect. Yeah, I know that. Hover your cursor over the effects icon. This is this one here. Got it. Can we move here? Yeah, we can. 34. 34, this is terrible. Oh,
Not a problem, Faith. Nothing of value
Huh.
has been lost.
not gonna argue with the tutorial.
Gonna hurt.
Follow my lead. Reduced to dust.
All right.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive.
Okay, Theodora, language.
Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
Okay, a piece of technology used to communicate. What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Okay, officer's deck.
Victory awaits.
There's nothing to loot here, right? No. There's nothing to loot here. They just won't allow us. Is that where we're going? Apparently this is where we're going.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Give me a second, folks. Yeah. had to compensate a little bit for the fact that it's getting a little bit darker. But I think we're fine.
Always on time, eh, Kunrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
That's kind of nasty. But I mean, he seems to know him.
Mort, pull yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I love her. She has so much attitude. There's so much attitude in her.
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
A mutiny against the Emperor's anointed. Execute the traitors, every last one of them. We must provide immediate assistance to those still on the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop this wave from spreading. This sounds much more reasonable.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once.
Okay, cool. So how are we going to do that?
Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance. And if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-militant. And taking into consideration Edelthrad's psychic powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
I hear and obey.
Then move out! Mort, come.
I guess I hear and obey. I guess that's what we're doing.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
I shall make... I noticed that, man. Honestly, it's bothering me a little.
Oh, certainly. Lady Theodora would be devastated if she were to lose one of her precious heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Oh no. Oh no. He's a traitor. It was Conrad all along.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. She has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber, and for that, I need her breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful. How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are
Okay.
in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred warrant of trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy? You sordid, wretched piece of Grok's shit.
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
Oh no.
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Fon Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous. Your head is spinning and then quick, quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to gate. Go to gate. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence, forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step toward the gates looming in the center of the chamber. Okay, got it. So I need to take tech use. This is easy. Oh, this also gives experience. This is nice. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaws open with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Voigtveer wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Look for anything that could be a weapon. Look back. Place your hand into the sentinel's maw. Examine the sentinel. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar is in sight. Oh, come on, fuck it. The sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several minutes pass. The sentinel's jaws remain closed and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against that gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
All right. That's what I call defense protocols. Those are definitely defense protocols. Let it be known that my will, and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant, to be the paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the roads of thought. This is a bit fast, honestly, folks. Is there...
Escort the child of the house to safety.
Okay. I need a weapon.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup.
Bookmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection. Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warren Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by. Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber,
Okay, got it. You will see notifications at the top of the screen indicating that the status of your current objective has been updated and that new information has been added to your journal. Okay. Can I check something real quick? Game setting, language, bloodstains, gore. Boreal tooltips. There's a tooltips delay here. Maybe I can increase that a little bit. I think we're supposed to close the door here. Oh, that's nice.
Run, fools, or fall!
Ooh. Chainsword to the rescue. Look at that. Thank you, Abelard.
Mistress? Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
The Golden Throne of Terra, an arcane cybernetic artifact that encases the God Emperor's physical remains entire and preserves them using stasis field and psi-fusion reactors. Conrad is a traitor. When we parted ways with the Offness's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of that plan. He's clearly serving the unholy gods of the warp.
Oh, holy God Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Mistress, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Sure, buddy.
Saints' blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive and now safe, Mistress. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Finally. While fighting, your character can lose some of their wounds. Your character has suffered an injury after being attacked by Conrad. This happens when a character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds. What are wounds? Wounds are a measurement of how much punishment a character can take. This is like HP, right? Within one round. Okay. When a character initially suffers an injury, it's considered a fresh injury during the first 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds have passed, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. A fresh injury can be healed using a medikit without passing any skill test. Okay, old injuries can be healed with a medikit, but require the character administering the treatment to pass a Medicaid skill test. Got it. Got it. Got it. Weapons. Drag. Drop. Gotcha. Oh yeah, finally. This is so much better already. Okay, but you don't have a pistol, buddy? You gotta get your pistol, boy.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis and weigh every step.
I stand in recognition.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all.
Okay, you got more to say?
Shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the war and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
I heard one of Theodora's voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's.
Yes.
Which one? The last one I received was about the navigator's sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, navigator. However, I've spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
Well, let's just go there, buddy.
Loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home! And with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved.
That is, they are so grave in their epicness. Okay, let's kill some heretics. Combat begins with the tactical phase, during which characters cannot attack or take any other actions, but may try to take an advantageous position. Right. I think I'm just gonna move her here, or even here, and him here. The problem is he's not gonna put him here for now. Okay. What is the, how is, okay, initiative is starting from the bottom, not the top. Abelard specializes in melee combat and drawing the enemy's attacks. Well, then how about we do that?
It will be done.
That was nice.
Indeed.
Got it. Oh, I have to end the turn, right?
Chaos guides me.
combat abilities of characters differ depending on their archetype. Available abilities are located at the bottom of the screen. Click left icon, left mouse button on the icon to use the ability. Okay. So it's my turn now, right?
All too easy.
Oh, you guys are really lined up nicely, right? Let's go.
Didn't stand a chance.
That was pretty cool. That was good. That's actually what we wanted. So can he do the same thing? I think he can. Let's go. Nice. Can I also do a charge? Yeah. Gorgeous. So the buff is still running, right? Plus 10 strength and toughness. 80% is fine.
Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
And then...
Suits my purposes. You didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. That was gorgeous. You can advance the level of your character and companions. Look at that.
They say a little bit of humility never hurt anyone. I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
Wholeheartedly humiliating them. What do we have here? We can choose a skill. We can choose athletics. Represents character's ability to traverse difficult terrain. Represents the ability to resist negative effects applied by poisons, coercion, demolition, medicate, and warp lore. Are we gonna go for warp lore because we're psychering? I think for now we're just gonna go for warp lore, and then in his case we're going to take rouse. Cool. Collecting loot. Defeated enemies have no further need for their former belongings. And then how about we collect it? Okay, this is nice because in combat the character may need to use different kinds of weapons. Okay. Open your inventory to switch to a different weapon set. Press X. Okay, this is nice. I think we've looted everything there is to loot here, but so the last pistol is definitely cooler than the auto pistol. And yeah, we could give her sword on this slot because generally, let's see, let's do it that way. And then we can give him the other pistol just in case, you know. That's good. That's good. We're looking good. Quick save. Don't forget to quick save in these games. And then we can exit.
In my way.
Here's a map of your void ship. It consists of several parts between which you can travel. It's not my void ship. But anyway, some parts are not yet available, but over time, your character will be able to access them. Click left mouse button on the active part of the void ship to move there. Oh, who are you?
I hear it here on the threshold of the blinded guide. Doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, Would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. Their voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abela, how they sing.
She's all right. She's definitely all right.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you, Von Valancius, are a sorcerer too, just like the other one. Lady Theodora must have grown so fond of psychers she wants one to replace her.
Officers frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
Okay. That sounds desperate.
Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Is that the warp seeping through, like this purple effect?
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelstrad's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
How do you know who I am? What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Engine Seer Prime is...
The Engine Seer. Engine Seer Prime, sure.
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we save the navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
She's not wrong.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity.
I love it.
But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Idira has joined my party, which now consists of several characters. Select the entire party. Press backspace. Okay. It works well. Armored body glove. Black chest plate. Psychic staff. Right. There's a door here. Where are we gonna go? Oh shit, that was fast actually. Is that the navigator?
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Let me just quickly save here.
Death will find you soon enough.
Come to chaos!
Abelard, Heretic Brawler, Heretic Psyker. She can study opponents, identify their weaknesses and psychic abilities. Okay. Analyze enemies is an operative ability which applies the exploit effect to all enemies within the operative's line of sight at the start of each of the operative's turns. Geez, this is why I said it was a little bit complex, right? The operative can also use this ability against a specific enemy. Anyway, we're going to be fine.
Anything is?
Chains up to 4 targets within 3 cell radius, dealing psyker, death powers level radius. Okay. It's gonna hit these two. Give me a second. I move over here.
His movement in the Empyrean.
I can hit those.
What an unfortunate turn.
Which is nasty. Oh, this is veil degradation. This is momentum. Okay. We're getting there.
Enjoy your luck while you still draw breath.
At your beck and call.
That was ideal, actually.
Victory is one fewer.
Yeah. That was pretty solid. What is that? No, we're just going to use that later on. You can use the hologram to gauge the effectiveness of your intended actions before taking them. Ah, this is nice. So, actually do this. Oh, this is nice. This is super good, actually. This is something I actually like.
Already done.
Well, now I kind of wasted the charge, right? Anyway, fuck it. That was not so good.
Cover me.
Gee, this staff is super powerful. Holy moly. The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with the throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the two dark, gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut. The two ordinary eyes as well as the third one that sits in the center of its forehead.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
What is wrong with him?
Wounded. Exhausted. Fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
Okay.
Your time is short. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Ah! It came from beyond. His body is not his.
Dira's scream is echoed through the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me. Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
Okay.
Run. The sanctum will be sealed. I will hold it off. Hold on. And wait for the signal from the Master Helmsman. Then I will commence the translation. So, run, run. The urge. Kneel before the ascent of a new champion. When the rite is complete, this shell will burst, and thousands of Moors will accept the sacrifice offered to the edge of daybreak by the bringer of twilight, the one marked by the will of the gods.
A rite. A sacrifice offered. Oh. My heart tells me that Kunrad was not deterred by his defeat in the warrant.
I guess he wasn't.
What? Kunrad betrayed Lady Theodora? Hmm. But how is that? How? He was as loyal as a dog. And I didn't hear a thing, I swear.
The footfalls of the bringer of twilight are veiled by the will of his masters. Tear out your eyes. She who is to become the champion's servant, for you need them no longer.
The bringer of
The
twilight.
ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
Good luck. And thank you.
The navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the vox at the base of the chair is bellowing out static, interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. Man, this game definitely knows how to set the mood. Let's loot. Let's loot some stuff. Is there anything else here? I think there is. Right on.
Follow my lead.
So we've got to get. Where are we? Is this where we're going? Honestly, this map is a little. Okay, this door does not. Lots of viscous flesh have entangled the metal, sealing the door shut. Okay, that's not so good. There's also no door here, right? This is just... Well, then let's move the other way, right? Well, this is how we go to the officer's deck. This is the warrant chamber. This is the officer's deck. This is the navigator's sanctum. Okay. This is how we navigate. Now I've got it. Now I've got it. That wasn't so difficult, was it? Right. I mean, this is how you build elevators, guys, right? This is how you build elevators. If I were to build an elevator, it would look like a Gothic mausoleum as well. Hey, Liron. Good evening.
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Oh, Christ.
Somebody shoot this one.
I shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me.
I love how everybody in this universe is like a religious fanatic. Everybody in this universe.
My light, my emperor.
God. The white-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hand, and for a brief moment, it seems she's not going to stop and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you.
Sister Argenta. Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you?
The Lord Captain's heir is who I am, and just who are you to be so brazen?
The hour is dark and daunting.
Definitely.
The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know
Why are you here?
The arch enemy.
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelthrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
What he's trying to say is there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on right now. And this is not a moment for conversation. I am no traitor. You can be sure of that. Well, currently not.
If you speak truthfully, the Emperor will not forsake you.
Jesus.
If you are lying, you will not escape his retribution. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic.
What is a warrior of the Adeptus Sororitas doing aboard a rogue trader's ship? Your orders serve the ecclesiarchy, do they not?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation. Under more appropriate circumstances.
Okay.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
What is happening on the officer's deck then?
Massacre, my lady. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lady, be on your guard.
Okay, this prologue is going hard. Like it's pulling out all the stops. But still, we must get to the main hall of the
Through
deck.
this door, I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
The passage to my right.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us.
I hate it when the villains make a mess of the cables. I mean, why do villains always have to mess with the cables?
Sister?
That's just...
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
Man, Argenta's just... She goes to 11, right? She... Okay. Cool.
When the faithful are idle, heresy grows.
Okay, she has a two-handed ranged weapon that is called Unfading Valor, and a small auto pistol. Okay, I think she's gonna be okay. There's another psychic staff here. Honestly, I could just as well equip that as a secondary weapon, right? Because there's the lightning arc. That. Oh, cool. I think we're super well prepared for whatever is behind that door. Is that where we're going? Nah. There's some... First and foremost, there's some goods here. Okay. There's a one-handed melee weapon and a shield. This is definitely stuff we like. Most definitely. The door to the mystic.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Is there some other chest here? Is that where we're going? Let's see. Honestly, the map situation is a bit... I don't know. Doesn't feel very comfortable. So this is a sword. Has a higher armor penetration and does more damage than the sword that we're using. We're gonna equip it, and it looks cooler, which is a nice bonus. And then we're just gonna give our buddy Abelard a shield. It's cool. It's good stuff. This is not the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy VI 14 with an expanded free trial, which you can play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award-winning Shadowbringers expansion up to level 80 for free with no restrictions on playtime. No, it is in fact not. I am absolutely sorry. I was looking into playing Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader in the last couple of days, and I kind of got hyped, and I kind of went down a small little rabbit hole into building a character for Rogue Trader, and I decided to basically topple my plans for today and not play Final Fantasy 14, which I wanted to play in the first place, but start playing Warhammer 40k. I wanted to initially stream Warhammer on Sunday, but then I couldn't wait. So I started today. I might be playing some Final Fantasy 14 on Sunday, but I'll probably realign the schedule and continue playing Final Fantasy on Thursdays, and then continue Warhammer on a Sunday stream, I think. So technically, you're right. This is not the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you very much for noticing. It looks a little bit like it, but it's a completely different game. It's much grimmer and darker, if you have noticed. And it has more Gothic architecture. So this looks like a combat situation. So
more enemies to face judgment.
Okay.
Surrender to the dark powers.
Honestly, I really like this repositioning stuff. That is good stuff. We actually like that. What is she doing? What's her deal? We don't know that yet, right? Let's see what she does. And we're just gonna start the battle. She's a warrior of the Adeptus Sororitas and a soldier. She's an expert with burst range weapons and weapons that deal damage in an area. Her mobility in combat is another strength. Run and gun. Using it grants the soldier extra movement points and reduces the cost of their next attack by -1 action point. Okay. Allows the soldier to perform an additional attack with a ranged weapon, so revel in slaughter. Yeah. Soldier ability that can be used once for each 3 enemies killed. Okay, cool. Grants momentum equal to 6. So, wow, I mean, her aim is terrible, right? It's not like she's hitting anything. Oh, give me a second.
This is unacceptable.
Is it? We can just run here. I mean, she has insane movement. That's absolutely true. And then
Doubt is for the weak.
we're gonna do some running and gunning. That was pretty solid. That was not so solid. Full and partial cover. Gives me the opportunity to avoid enemy attacks. Indicated by a skull on a shield. Good old skull on a shield. So can we charge that guy? We charge that guy. Let's see if that works. Yeah, this is... I forgot.
Nothing I can't do.
And then we're gonna hit you. Lovely. Now we're just gonna get hit back. At least a little bit. So, Adira, what are we doing? What are we doing? Can we just throw some lightning?
They who discern the future own the battlefield.
Absolutely. Gonna throw
On it.
this here. And then we're just gonna try to kill these folks. Oh shit, Argenta's taking damage as well. So I actually need to take care of friendly fire. I didn't know that.
Anything else?
I'm gonna give the main character a little bit of a buff regarding her dodge abilities. But I think we're doing fine, right? Where's Abelard?
Nothing of value.
Yes. Lovely. So can he charge? Not able to reach the target. Okay. Because this is not a straight line, I cannot use it to charge. Well, in that case, we're just gonna
Indeed.
hit him. A normal person, right? So, bracing for impact. And then we are gonna make the remaining heretics suffer, I guess, right? Where are we? Momentum. Ground's momentum equal to 6. 35. Okay, that's not bad. So
I'll do it.
let's use this. And then we move here. Then shoot. Is actually not a good position to shoot on. Oh well.
Rejoice in battle.
Not half bad.
Death to the weak.
So let's go.
Problem for me.
Wow, that didn't hit. What should I do? That looks good, actually. That looks like something I should do.
Be gone.
Yes. Gorgeous.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged. Is that what you just said?
My place is at the fore.
I love it. This is gorgeous. No, I can't reach him, but I can reach him. Let's go. Yes. Fantastic. We're doing it.
It will be done. I took care of this one.
It's about time.
What, did they die? Like the combat ending and the cutscenes are always a little weird. I didn't even realize that. Now there's people standing around here everywhere. Okay. Felt a bit janky, honestly. What's happening here? Cogitator is silent. The machine spirit is no longer being powered. Okay. Okay, this is just cargo. I still don't know what to do with cargo. There has not been a tutorial for what cargo is doing in this game and what purpose it fulfills, but I'm just gonna loot it.
None shall stand
And then
in my way.
we're gonna find out later, I guess, right? This is an exact replica of our ship. Okay. Oh, we can open the
Would you look at
door.
that?
That will be good, I guess, right? To open the door, click on the icon above the cogitator. The character with the highest logic will make the skill test.
I did fine.
All right. Oh, there's goods on the table as well. A lot of looting going on here. This is just cargo. Oh, operator's glove. This is nice. And some explosives. Do we know which skills we need to actually use this? Demolition. Do we have somebody who's good at that? He has a 40. 40. Oh, apparently she's good at that.
I will not.
Where do we put that?
I refuse.
Yep. Where do we equip that? We don't equip that? Apparently we don't. Let's see. Maybe we just use it out of the inventory. For a game that explains so much in the first 2 hours, it's interesting. Oh, okay. Got it. So now I can blow up the door.
The Emperor favors me today.
Look at us. We even leveled up. So what can we do? We can get a new skill that's called Endure. I think this is the only thing we can do currently, right? Yep. All right. So we're just gonna take that. And well, Abelard is a warrior as well, so that's the only thing he can do. But okay, Dira learns Explodes weakness, which removes the exploits from the target, decreasing dodge, parry, and armor. Okay, so basically she has one ability. She has one ability that allows her to add the stacks and then remove them to apply a debuff. Okay, cool. And this is Revels in Slaughter, which removes the winded effect and then gives the soldier plus 10 ballistic skills, 15 critical damage. Okay, but I have to kill 3 enemies in combat before I can use that ability. So I assume a lot of people to kill.
A new challenge for me.
All right, where are we going? So let's see if we can reach the bridge before we call it a day for today. Please don't tell me that this is gonna...
Are you lost, my heir?
Okay.
An apparition. A sorceress. Apparition. Trickery of the warp.
Sister, you will lower your weapon. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous.
Yeah, but the Lord Captain being on fire and walking through flames is also kind of outrageous, you know? So...
I am a rogue trader. I am wherever my will demands me to be.
Okay.
Would you prefer to be elsewhere at this time? Indubitably. But are you ready? I can lead you out of these flames, show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon so that you may defeat your enemies.
Your mouth begins to salivate. Each word Theodora speaks is like music to your ears. The entity that now dwells in the deepest recesses of your mind is pleading, begging, demanding that you bring her an immediate answer. And that answer can be nothing other than acceptance.
Do not listen to this abomination. If there is naught but his light in your heart, if you are resolute in your faith, then step into the flames. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises. Nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul.
Man.
To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace.
The people! The survivors from the middle decks! We must help the crew! Lead them out! Find a way around!
This is interesting because the game currently just quickly sketches the 3 different possibilities of decisions that you have, right? Abelard as an iconoclast. Idira is somebody who's potentially more prone to following chaos. And then Sister Argenta, who's, of course, very dear and beloved to the Emperor.
Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Edel.
Here we go. There it is.
What are we waiting for?
Dogmatic, iconoclast, heretical. No, I don't want to take my pain away and give me power. This is just not the play style that I like. Role play decisions that I make. I honestly don't like the dogmatic approach of Warhammer. This is honestly much too close to like religious zealots, and not a big fan. So I think I'm just gonna choose the iconoclast decision and get the people off the bridge and try to do some good. You look away and the illusion breaks. The unbearable heat instantly makes your skin burn, and the voices of the people beyond the shroud of smoke grow stronger and hopeful once you and your companions rush back, barking orders and guiding the survivors. In your determination, you completely forgot about Theodora, and when you turn your head, you see nothing but the bellowing fire. All right, we will go around the fire. Damn. This is... You're an intense little game, aren't you?
Where did it go? The thing that was standing in front of us in the fire? I
could have sworn.
Oh, there's a
To the same place all unholy visions go. Do you want to follow it, witch?
Yeah, do we have some inner conflict here?
Myself through my service.
Oh, nice. Look at that. There's a little bit more loot over here. And I think we can crack this door open with some... Oh, so you can use demolition tech use or
Excellence matters.
just skill to unlock the door. A helmet. Helmets are always good.
I won't tolerate weakness.
They just look stupid, right? So... Yeah, that looks silly, man. We don't want that, Abelard. Can we somewhere deactivate the helmet? There's always an option to deactivate a helmet in these games, right? Options. Gonna find it. Maybe not right now, but there's definitely one here somewhere. This is CRPG default by now. I love the fact that that used to be a problem in the past, and just hiding helmets has become such an RPG standard nowadays that
Too late. We are too late.
Oh.
Perhaps Edelthrad and his escort never made it here, which would be even worse.
Are you saying decisions have consequences in this game?
Fighting on the bridge as we speak, without us.
My lady, I beg your pardon for interrupting. The people are asking for orders. You came back to save us, so now we will follow you through thick and thin.
This is nice.
To the bridge. If Edelthrad is there, then he requires immediate assistance. I say there is one thing that I find most troubling. The Lord Captain's Voxcasts. They are still coming in, even though it would make sense for Lady Theodora to be on the bridge right now, at the head of the counter-assault. I feel uneasy. What if the Lord Captain is besieged in her own chambers? With your permission, I suggest that we confirm for ourselves that she is not. We can use the same elevator that Lady Theodora and Mort headed for earlier.
Make it into the meeting with the air. Reach the secret lift. Okay. Let's loot some more.
Victory awaits.
Where is that secret lift? Not it, right? Let's just quickly see if there's anything here. This is the way to the secret lift. I hate it when I forget to loot something. This is... So one thing I do not like about this map is it's not giving me any information on where the hell...
Hey, what's that?
Oh. Ooh-ha. Look at that. We found something. Oh, this is the Lord Captain's quarters. All right, here we go. Mm-hmm. That just opens the journal, which is something.
Follow my lead.
Oh, where is she? Is she here somewhere? Not. Uh-oh. Oh no.
None shall stand in my way.
Oh, this is also interesting because I didn't know that, but apparently there's items, there's equipment that requires you to have a certain conviction in order to wear it. For example, this helmet can only be worn by her. Interesting. Because she has the necessary conviction. There's a lot going on here. Murder scene. Theodora von Valancius's body is sprawled on the large, blood-drenched desk. The arch-militant's corpse, still clutching a weapon, is slumped against one of the bulkheads.
Emperor, accept thy faithful souls.
Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing. Not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this?
I think she's not taking this too well.
Lord Captain, who would even dare? Unless that rat, Voidsphere.
I have no idea.
It could have happened in the heat of battle. Not to mention that Mort was here, and he would have protected Lady Theodora to the last. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Arch-Militant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes.
Maybe he did it.
I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me, and I'll try to see what secrets it holds.
You lean closer to the body. The cause of death is apparent. What ended the rogue trader was an auto pistol shot. An extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise, the last emotion he experienced in life. Happened the arch-militant's body. An auto pistol shot went straight through Mort's forehead, spraying the floor and the furniture around it with blood, brain matter, and shards of his skull. The safety on the arch-militant's weapons is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he. Okay. Let's walk a little back and forth. It is difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent rather than completely transparent, as if they had been submerged in promethium, a broad term for combustible fuel in the Imperium of Men. Okay, promethium. Reports, accounts, dispatches. You go over the scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different than the rest. It is a handwritten letter signed with the initials XC and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you. Okay. Adira, what do these shards tell you?
I see streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Conrad and what is that? Ah! Something dark, enormous. Oh, this glass thing was something foul, that's for sure.
Tainted witchcraft.
Yes, Argenta. Tainted witchcraft.
It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul. And after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in a warp.
Well, then we just gotta get
Yes, the
going.
crucible of battle calls to me once more.
Jesus Christ, Argenta.
No, wait! We must see if we can find anything.
Idira, you can't bring her back. Let her go.
You'd give up so easily, old man? I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart. But you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain. And when I do, that scum will regret the day they were born.
There's a lot going on here. This is man. Ooh, there's a cloak. There's some goods over here, which is Theodora's rosary. Okay, also good. I know there is a dead person here, and the only thing that I can think of is looting her cabins. I'm sorry for it. I really am. But I think she would have done the same. Oh. What is that? All right, folks. We just walked into that. All right. Let's give ourselves some cover. Right? Let's go. Light and medium armor. Armor protects just like the Emperor from incoming damage. Light and medium armor types are both available to you at the moment. This is great. Okay. The armor stats indicate character in light armor dodges more often. Heavy leather armor. Okay. You have obtained heavy armor, unlike light and heavy armor. Provides the ability to deflect damage. Okay. Where did I actually retrieve that? Give me a second. Too much. Okay, I can't equip any stuff in battle. So let's just. Are we doing it? Ah, shit. Shit, give me a second. I should have equipped the sword first anyway. Doesn't matter.
I will do like you.
Oh, he has a lot of hit points. Okay.
It will be done.
Ooh, buddy. This is gonna take a while. Have a good night. Bye, Leron. I will also try and wrap this up in a minute, but we just stumbled into this fight, so I guess we gotta finish it.
Suits my purposes. You didn't stand a chance.
Right on.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Yeah, that looks good. Let's do that.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
My girl. Yes. She is the bestest girl. Damn. That was... So we can... Nice.
Target well struck.
What's gonna happen? Ooh, that was nasty. That was okay. Right. Let's get physical.
Victory is imminent. It will be done.
Mm-hmm.
I will do my duty.
And then let's go. So,
Already done.
let's do this. Yeah, but she didn't do the attack thing. That's kind of weird anyway. The soldier immediately saw critical chance, critical damage.
I'll do it.
Let's go.
Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Nice.
What is this foreboding? Will do. On it.
Okay, but these exploits only apply to me, right? Damn. I think we're done with this, right?
At your
Come on.
beck and call. One fewer target.
There you go. Oh wow, this also triggered another level up. Wow. So, folks, I think... So, this is Daring Breach. We're going to do this later. You know what, folks? It's 9:45 now. Let's close the interface. So, we're going to wrap this up right here for tonight. That was... I think that was enough. It's also gotten quite dark. Anyway, so thank you very much, everybody, for taking the time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. It's quite intense. It's Definitely a different vibe than Final Fantasy XIV. I like it a lot. I'm not sure how much I can get into the religious zealotry kind of thing, but it's definitely going to be an intense story. So yeah, stay tuned. We're definitely going to continue this on stream. Probably just gonna switch with Final Fantasy every now and then. Let's see how we're gonna set this up, but I will let you know. In the meantime, thanks for coming along. Have a beautiful evening. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.